Yesterday marked a critical stage in the legal battle over the Federal Health Care Reform Act. A federal judge rejected the Justice Department's request that Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli's lawsuit be dismissed. And joining us to discuss what this means going forward is the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Ken Cuccinelli. Thank you for being here, Mr. Attorney General.
Glad to be here. Good to see you, Ryan.
First, I want to address this cloud that Democrats are attempting to hang over the head of Judge Henry Hudson. They've pointed to an investment that he made in a political consulting firm, which you were a client of at one point. And in fact, a liberal group today, America United for Changes, asked that he recuse himself from any future dealings with this case. Is there any connection between you and Judge Hudson that goes beyond what's talked about in the courtroom?
No, we didn't know about that. And it's not a political consulting firm, or maybe they do that. All we did was hire website space, and we're canceling that. And all that firm was doing for us right now is processing our online donations. That's almost nothing. So it's pretty ridiculous. I've been in front of Judge Hudson for over 10 years as a state court judge and a federal court judge, and I've had the rulings go for me and against me. Yesterday it went our way, went Virginia's way. There's no indication that that's ever had any effect. And if you know Judge Hudson's history, there's no way he'd let that affect him, and I doubt he even knew either.
Right. Well, this is a pretty big narrative the Democrats are trying to push. Do you think it could have any impact in the way the case moves forward?
No, I don't. It's irrelevant, and when you compare what other judges might have, they all have the same investments anybody else might. You just can't screen for everything. It's interesting that this came up, but it's nothing more than an irrelevancy, and they're losing right now, and so they need to change. They need to change the tune. They're not saying the case is frivolous anymore. They can't, because a federal court has, in very well-reasoned basis, laid out why the federal complaints about our lawsuit were not meritorious.
And let's talk about that a little bit. And depending on who you talk to, Democrats say that this was just a procedural discussion to move the case forward, didn't really have any impact on the constitutionality about it. Republicans, like yourself, calling it a landmark decision that could have wide-ranging implications. From your perspective and what the judge says, what type of indication are you getting on the course that this case could take from here forward?
Well, there's only one piece that he ruled on yesterday that really will show up again in summary judgment. And it was the claim by the federal government that Virginia didn't even state a claim that we could get a remedy for, which means that if everything we said in our complaint was true, we still lose. Well, the judge said, no, that's not the case. And he was very specific in this area. He said that if this bill is held constitutional, and he didn't judge that yet, it will be the most far-reaching Commerce Clause finding by the Supreme Court, or tax finding, which means that it's beyond the outer reaches of Supreme Court jurisprudence on both Commerce Clause and the taxing power. So we are out in Never Never Land constitutionally. The judge acknowledged that. So we'll come back. October 18th is the oral argument, and at that point he'll be confronted with the question, okay, we're out past the Commerce Clause, at least as it's been applied in the past, and we're out past the taxing power, at least as it's been applied in the past. Are we so far out that it's unconstitutional, which is Virginia's position? Obviously the federal government contests his ruling yesterday, so presumably they will retain that position and say, no, this is all within the Constitution.
That happens October 18th. We expect a decision sometime before Thanksgiving, before then moves on to the next stage.
Roughly speaking, yes.
Okay. All right. Attorney General, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Good to see you, Ryan.
Thank you.